Chapter 36. Adelmo's heart raced as he listened to his grandfather's words. The room seemed to grow colder, and a shiver ran down his spine. The thought of the tourist attractions in New Orleans being more than just mere attractions sent a chill through his veins. He had always believed that they were just there to entertain and intrigue visitors, but now he questioned everything he thought he knew. His voice trembling, Adelmo asked his grandfather if what he was saying was true. The old man's eyes gleamed with a mix of wisdom and fear as he confirmed Adelmo's worst fears. "Yes, my boy," he replied, his voice barely above a whisper. "Those tourist attractions are not just for show. They are manifestations of the very evils I have warned you about." Adelmo's mind raced with a flurry of questions. How much of what he had heard about these attractions was true? Were the stories and legends surrounding them based on reality? His grandfather's response sent a shiver down his spine. 99% of what they talk about is true," he said, his voice filled with a somber certainty. "The books, the tales, they may differ in details, but the essence of the horrors they describe is real." Adelmo's mind reeled as he tried to process the implications of his grandfather's words. If all of this was true, then what about the existence of a sixth sense? Did they possess some form of heightened perception that allowed them to see and experience the supernatural? The room seemed to grow darker as Adelmo awaited his grandfather's response, his heart pounding in his chest. The truth, whatever it may be, was about to be revealed, and Adelmo could only hope that he was prepared for what lay ahead. Adelmo's curiosity grew as he listened to his grandfather's eerie explanation. The old man's voice quivered as he spoke of the sixth sense that ran in their bloodline. "Yes, my boy," his grandfather whispered, his eyes darting around the dimly lit room. "Some are born with it, while others have it awakened by a sinister event." Adelmo's mind raced with questions, and he couldn't help but ask, "But what does this sixth sense feel like?" His grandfather's face contorted with a mix of pain and remembrance. "When you first encounter the presence of these malevolent beings, your head will throb with an unbearable pain," he explained. "As time passes, the pain subsides, but a strange sensation takes its place. It's as if your mind becomes entangled in a web of confusion, leaving you feeling disoriented whenever you come across them." The old man's voice grew more somber as he continued, "But fear not, my dear Adelmo. For once you have fully embraced this ability, it will become second nature to you. You will possess the uncanny ability to discern these abominations from the rest of humanity. While others see the world in vivid colors, you will perceive them in shades of gray, like a haunting black and white photograph from a bygone era. It is a gift, my boy, but also a curse. Stay vigilant, for the line between the ordinary and the monstrous is thinner than you can imagine." Adelmo's mind whirled with a mixture of fascination and trepidation, unsure of what awaited him in this newfound realm of darkness. Adelmo's eyes darted towards his watch, a reflexive action ingrained in him over the years. To his surprise, the hands pointed to the hour of lunch. A pang of hunger gnawed at his stomach, urging him to voice his appetite. He turned to his grandfather, a man of wisdom and experience, and confessed his growing hunger. His grandfather, with a knowing smile, acknowledged the request and led the way to the kitchen. The air in the room seemed to thicken as they entered, as if an unseen presence lurked in the shadows. The kitchen, usually a place of warmth and comfort, now felt eerie and unsettling. The housekeeper, a mysterious figure with a stoic expression, had prepared a meal for them. The aroma wafting through the air was both enticing and unsettling, a strange combination that sent shivers down Adelmo's spine. As they sat down to eat, the conversation took a dark turn. The room seemed to absorb their words, amplifying the weight of their discussion. They delved into the realm of the macabre, discussing abominations that lurked in the shadows of the world. With each bite, Adelmo's appetite waned, replaced by a growing sense of dread. His grandfather, a fountain of knowledge, shared tales of zombies, witches, and voodoo cults. The horrors that awaited Adelmo in his future unfolded before him like a nightmarish tapestry. The list of malevolent entities seemed endless, stretching far beyond what Adelmo could have ever fathomed. As they finished their meal, the room seemed to exhale a sigh of relief, as if the darkness had momentarily receded. Little did Adelmo know, this lunchtime conversation was merely the beginning of his journey into a world where nightmares became reality. Adelmo was fully engrossed in absorbing all the information his grandfather was sharing with him. However, he couldn't help but interrupt his grandfather to seek clarification on how they could identify where these problems manifested. With genuine curiosity, Adelmo asked, "How do we actually know where these problems come to the surface?" Adelmo's grandfather paused for a moment, reflecting on the question before responding. He explained, "Over time, it becomes second nature to recognize these problems. It's like seeing them right in front of your eyes. There's an intuitive feeling inside you that guides you towards a specific place, even if you don't understand why you're drawn to it. It's only when you reach that place that everything starts to make sense. Essentially, this ability lies within us, almost like a built-in tracking device that helps us identify when and where these problems emerge." Adelmo, intrigued by his grandfather's response, further inquired, "So, is this ability something we've always had, or does it develop over time, just like our ability to find these things?" His grandfather smiled and replied, "This ability has always been a part of us. It's not something that suddenly appears or requires any specific incident to trigger it. Most people remain unaware of this ability until they become aware of what's happening around them and acknowledge their own potential. It's like unlocking a hidden power within ourselves." Adelmo sat there, deep in thought, trying to process everything he had learned, feeling a sense of awe and wonder at the untapped potential within him.